Good afternoon, everyone. We are the NC. So thank you for being here to attend our final presentation on our Mega World project. I would like to introduce our team members. So this is Brenda and Cheryl. And before we start, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to our Dr. Maiga and Professor Wu and for their invaluable guidance and support for helping us to enhance our labs. And also a special shout out to for designing so many dedicated tiles for our labs. Okay, so let's get started. So here is what we'll be covering today. We divided our presentation into 6 parts. The first one will be the project background, and the second one will be the storyline overview, and then is the map settings and concept. And then we will introduce our 2 maps and end up with the conclusion and Q&A section. So let's start with the project background. Our target players are the first-year students from Central China Global University. So therefore, we use our settings and languages in simplified Chinese. And the teaching materials we use in our labs conclude the computational thinking, computer systems, and computer networks. So based on the teaching materials, and we also take inspirations from the movie The Matrix, and we develop our storyline. So in this world, human gives intelligence to robots, but over time, the robot has rose up and caused all the energy, consumed up all the energies on Earth and caused energy crisis. So later on, they discovered that humans can be a resource of energy. So they started to capture humans and put them in the pods. And while humans are sleeping in the pods, their consciousness are trapped in the virtual utopia that is constructed by the robots. So the players have to escape from this virtual utopia and collect 8 fragments in the central systems and become freedom to that. And next will be the map settings and concept. And in these sections, I will include the visual design of our 2 maps and the quest types. So the first one will be the virtual design of our first map. So just as I just mentioned before, we developed this map based on the concept of utopia. So the players have to escape from this map and to our second map. And our second map design is based on the concept of the robot-dominated territories. So we use a more darker tone palette to create these maps. And as you can see, we have separated this map into zones with the water and lava elements. And for the first zone, it refers to many human territories. And for the second zone, it refers to the robot castle. So next, let's move on to the quest types. We have divided our quest into types. The first one will be the narrative quest, which is directly connected to the storyline. And the second one will be the mission types. And it is assigned by the NPCs and requiring players to complete specific actions such as collecting or delivering items. And the last one will be the problem-solving quest. It requires players to answer questions based on the learning materials. So based on the 3 different quest types, we have for the players with different experience points. So for the narrative quest, will give the players 25 professional experience points when they complete the task. And for the mission quest, we will give them 50 professional experience points based on how many items they collect or deliver. And for question solving, we will give them different experience points based on the difficulty of problems. So for the easy problems, we will give them 50 professional experience points. And for medium problems, we will give them 80 experience points. And for the hard questions, we will give them 100 experience points. Okay, so then finish this sentence, we will move on to the first map. And we designed this map based on the principles of the computational thinking. So the players will start their journey at these maps and then learning some basic knowledge of the computational thinking. So the next one will be the settings of this map. First, I would like to introduce the birthplace and portal. The birthplace is the place where the players will first appear in this map, and then they will meet the first NPCs at these locations. And for the portal is the place where the players can use this to travel to our second map. But one thing to highlight is that this portal has required a certain professions to get access to it. So here is what I'm going to talking about is the professions. So at the beginning of the map, the players will receive a profession which we call the level cipher. And after playing this map and complete all the quests, they will get 2,500 profession experience points to upgrade to another professions which we call the Vanguard. So after they complete upgrade to these professions, they can get the access to the portal and travel to our second map. And then is the NPCs. We have 9 main NPCs in this map, and they are placed at these marked locations. And then I'm going to introduce those individual NPCs and their corresponding quests. So here I use a table to present the quest and the quest types and how many experience points they will get after they complete the quest. So as you can see, but at here there will be 0 profession experience points because after these 2 quests, the players will accept the professions, and after the quest, they will start to accumulate profession experience points. And due to the time limitations, so I will go through this part very quickly. So, but you can see that each table documented what type of quest and how many experience points they will get after they complete it. So, conclusions, there are 3 quest types in this map. There are narrative, problem-solving, and missions. And there are 49 quests in total. And after finishing these 49 quests, the players will get 2,500 professional experience points. And then I'm going to introduce the items in this map. So there are cool items in this map. The players can use the tool on the left-hand side to find the items on the right side. So, for example, they can use a pickaxe to find metal fragments. And they can also use a bird cage to find the feathers. Or they can even use the toolbox to find the 3 things. And we also have food function items in these maps. So, after the players come to the healing potions, they can get 1,500 points. And the last one will be the quest-related items that the players needs to find these items to complete the quest or unlocking the new task. So after finish the settings, I will show you how these settings and elements will actually work in this game. And they will be, I will demonstrate the important quest and how to use these items. So the first important quest will be how the players can accept the professions. So just as I just mentioned before, the players have to finish 2 narrative quests, and then they have to accept the professions, and then to continue the later quest. So after they accept the professions, problem-solving quest, and then the professional experience points will be rewarded to them. So the next important quest will be the portal. So the players have to finish all the quests in this map. get access to the portal. So I will use the desk NPC's quest as an example. And as you can see at here, if the players did not finish all the quests in this map, they cannot accept the professions. So they have to continue to finish the last quest. So after that, they can accept the professions and finish the last narrative quest. After that, the players can get to the portal and travel to our second map. And then I'm going to show you how to use the items in this map. So the first one will be the quest related items. So in this quest, the NPCs will give the players 5 data fragments. So then the players have to deliver these data fragments to another NPCs. And each of the items represent the answers of the question. So the players have to identify which of the answers is correct and select the corresponding fragments to NPCs and complete the quest. So let's see how it will work. So first, they have to complete these questions to get the data fragments. And after that, I will pass it to another NPCs. NPC will ask the players about the questions about the computational thinking, and the players have to submit the correct answers to the NPCs and complete this test. So the next one will be how to use the tool items in this map. So in this quest, the NPCs will give the players a bird cage. So the bird cage can find feathers, but the feathers could either be complete or incomplete. But only the complete feathers can complete the quest. So if the players have the incomplete feathers, they have to use it in exchange for the second items that is required in this quest. So this they can exchange these items from these NPCs. So when the players get the incomplete feathers, they can use it to find another NPCs and exchange for another items. So here is the example video. As you can see, the players will get the bird cage. Then they have to find the feathers in patients. First, they have the incomplete feathers. Then they got the complete feather. And then they have to go to the city center and exchange complete feathers to another item that is required by this quest. So they have already got the required items, and then they have to return back to the event these to complete the quest. And that's everything for the first step. And then my teammate Brenda will give you a further explanations for the second step.
I'm Hsin-Yu from Tsu-Hsuan. Now I'm going to introduce our map in the wasteland. First of all, this is our map. So you can see the side is larger than Arcadia. So we will divide into 2 parts. So you can see the divider and the left side from 00 to 10 0 to 050 to 1050. This area will called lane 60. Whereas the right side from 11:0 to 11:15 to 24:0 to 24:15 will be the Chi-Cheng Castle. So the lane 60 will be surrounded by water, and the Chi-Cheng Castle will be surrounded by lava. And here the material used for lane 60 will use computer systems. What is computer systems? It includes like computer hardware, like logical operations, or softwares, like language processing. And also it includes like computer components and operating systems. And as for Chi-Cheng Castle, we will use the materials computer networks. So what is it? It's about the development of computer networks, related concepts of the internet, or the computer network architecture, and the most important is the applications based on computer networks. So here I'm going to talk about the setting of lane 60. So first of all, I will introduce our starting coordinates, and then I will integrate our storyline into portals, NPCs, quests, and rewards, profession, and items. So first of all, our starting coordinates will be as 0, 0 over here. So you can see the starting coordinates. So as Lizzie mentioned before, map 1 was thought as a portal where it's a dungeon over there. So we also design a dungeon over there, so might make the story become more connected. A portal to get to here, and then can start the map. And here, let's talk about the portals. So the one that's connected Arcadia to this city will be the portal called the underground passage. So you can see from Arcadia 19, and you can use the portal to get to Lazy City at 0, 0. And since I think most experience about our story is that different things in our story in map 2 is that there is petrol robots. If you are unfortunately discovered by petrol robots, you will be killed. So the players have to finish the quest, and at the same time they have to evade the petrol robot. So I have set out a different passage in map 2 called Hsin-Yu passage. So in previous experience, most of us use the portals to connect the different maps. But this time I use the portals in the same map. So here you can see here is a green island over here, but it is surrounded by waters. So players can walk over there by just walking through. They have to use the portal to get to the gray island. So first of all, they have to get to the harbor at 9:15 over here, and then they can use the portal at Isle passage to get to here. 9:10 the gray color ground, and then they will meet the NPCs over here. So here, and the third portal in map 2 is a red flame bastion passage. So as we mentioned before, our Chi-Cheng Castle is surrounded by lava. So we use the word red flame. And also there is a AI robot castle over there, so we use the bastion to name it. So it calls red flame bastion passage. So here you can see from the castle over here, 9:11, and then they can get to the Chi-Cheng Castle over here. So you can see the coordinates will be here where Dr. Megazo's here and 13:7 here. Okay, and this is about portals. So next is another demonstration about Hsin-Yu here. So you can see Professor Chen is standing over here at the harbor at 9:15, and then he can use the portal to travel. So then he can get to here, the gray ground here at 9:10, and then he will meet the entity over here called Elisa. So let's talk about our NPCs. First, we can divide our NPCs into 2 parts. The first part is the main NPC. So as we mentioned before, there will be 8 different fragments in the wasteland, and 4 of them will be at Lazy City, and the rest of 4 will be at Chi-Cheng Castle. So each of the main NPC will have 1 piece of reset fragments. So the first one is Elton at 1:1, and you will have the reset fragments N. So after you finish the quest from Elton, you can get the reset fragments. And then you can go to find Lisa at 4:7, and she has the fragments O. And then you have to get to here to find some here at 6, 0, and she have the reset fragment T. And the last fragment is over here. So it means that the player has to use the passage to get to here and then can meet Alicia and get the last piece of the reset fragment in NCCP. And here is a little demonstration so that after you finish the quest from Atom, you can get the money experience, professional experience, and also the items reward here. So you can see the reset fragment. And next, here is the side analysis. So you can see that it might be a little bit complex, but they will lead you to find the reset fragment in your map. So they are related to quest, food, or items. So let's take a can as an example. So you can see here, after you finish a quest from can, you can get the experience, professional experience, and what it means, the item means is that you can get something from them. So you can get a reward like the memory encoder. And you might confuse that why some levels are in green or in yellow, not purple, because they are the same NPC. So the yellow one, 2 of them are Serif, and the purple, 2 of them are Rogue. So let's see. The items that Serif wants. So here you can see he buy the things that he wants, and also there is a quest that to make sure that the players have already buy the things there. And also there you have the yellow one and red words to guide players to the next place. And the next one is quests and rewards. So first of all, we have used many types of quests, and the first one is check-in. Then the narrative questions we can use check-in for players to use. And also there will be choose one, so they have to pick 1 correct answers. And also the choose multiple, so there might be more than 1 answers, might be 2 or 3. And the next one is true or false questions. So they have to read a sentence and think of it is true or false. And the next one is text long answers. So in chapter 3, there are many concepts. So I think that text long answers is the best way for students to check themselves, really understand the concepts or not. So I use the text long answers over here. So they have to type down what the concept is and the reason about it. And the next one here, I have organized a table of quests in Lengthy City. So the choose one question will have 9, and the choose multiple will have 3, and the text long answer will be 11. And they will have 8 check-in questions and 7 true or false questions. So there will be 38 quests in Lengthy City. And also the quest levels. So there will be 5 to 4 parts. The 3 parts is hard, medium, and easy. So there will be 1 hard question. So the players will get 100 professional experience points after they finish the hard questions. However, they can get 80 professional experience points for a medium and 25 for easy questions. And I choose 19 medium questions is because the medium questions, most of them are integrate the concepts and the applications. So I think it's more suitable for students to practice. And the others are like the narrative questions, or they have to think something to submit it. So there are 7 questions, and they can get 25 professional experience points for each quest. And the total of professional experience points in Lengthy City will be 2,170. And here about the rewards. So you can see here, after you finish the quest from Acela, you can get the money, the experience, professional experience, and also the items like here, the ancient pets. However, experience and professional experience are necessary in each quest. Whereas the money and items are not always appear in each quest. So let's talk about why we need money. So we will give players money because they have to buy the tools, like they have to take something, they have to go for Elton to buy the tools. And also, since they are walking around, so they have to buy food to eat. And let's talk about the professions. So as Lizzie mentioned before, the players' initial professions will be Rebel Cipher, and they will upgrade they can join Vanguard after they receive 2,500 professional experience points. And so in Lancy cities, the players will start from Vanguard. And after they receive 1,300 professional experience points, they can join the Signal Seeker. But now you might confuse that why Arcadia needs 2,500 professional points, but in Lancy City just need 1,300 points. It's because the size of Lancy City is smaller than Arcadia. And also the quests in Arcadia, there are 49 quests, but in here we just have 38 quests. And also the last point is because in Arcadia, they receive the professional at the end of the map. But here, the players will receive the opportunity to join the profession in the middle of the quest. So they just have to receive 1,300 professional experience over here. So you can see that, and our total is 2,170 professional experience. So it's obviously less than Arcadia. And next is professions. So here's a demonstration. So how can players join the professions of Signal Seeker? So first they have to find Moran at 4-4. And then here you can see she asks you, do you want to join it? So here is the live demo. So you click the one first. And then here has some quests. And here the down one, they ask you to join Signal Seeker. So after you click it, and if you have 1,300 experience points, you can join it. And then you can finish the quest from Moran. Okay, and next, I think you might have a question that if the players did not have 1,300 experience points. However, we have set out the certain numbers. So also here, each quest we have set out the required quest. So the players have to finish the quest, then they can go to the following quest. So we can make sure that they won't need any quest in our map. And also there is a required profession. So if they did not upgrade to Signal Seeker, they cannot finish the following quest. So I think the players have not enough experience problems will not exist in our map. And next, I'm going to talk about items. I will divide into 4 parts. The first is rewards, and the second is request, and the third is stake, and the last one is eat. So the rewards, as we mentioned before, there are 8 reset fragments in the wasteland, and 4 of them MRTO are in the Lancy city. And about the request. So like here you can see the range, ancient pass, memory encoder, or the master key. And they are the reward from some NPC's quest. However, they transform to the required quest in other quests. So they have many features in our map. And also here is the thing. So the first one will be at 9-5 is the necklace. And they need the tools over there is the shovel. So they have to buy from Elton at the beginning of our games. And also in 114, they can take the pickles. In 110, there is a whistle. And in 214, there is an oil lamp. So we can see on our map is over there. So the NPCs down here will tell the players to take this necklace and submit over here. And the other thing is that the NPC over here will lead the players to take these 3 things separately. So they just take one thing at one time because they are separate in different places. And the last part of our items is food I eat. So the first one is barbecue chips at 1-8, and you can get 300 movement points. And the next one is maple cookies 4-7, and the players can get 500 movement points. And the third one is protein at 1-12, and they can get 700 movement points. And the last one is lobster. They can add 314, they can get 1,000 movement points. So we can see it's on our map. So the first one is over here. So when they find the NPCs, the food will also appear under the quest, so they can buy the food to eat. And here's a demonstration about 4 things that they can buy from the NPCs. So here you can see how many money it costs for the food, and they can buy it and to eat. Okay, so next Cheryl will talk about the Zone 2.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Cheryl Chang from NCU's team. Now I'm going to talk about Zone 2 in the Wasteland, which is the last part of our 2 maps. And I will first talk about setting, then I will show you some demonstration videos later. For the setting part, I will separate it into 5 parts, and I will from storyline to items, and I will take you through the whole zone. Yeah. So before we get started, there are some essential storyline information that you need to know. The name of Zone 2 is called Chi-Cheng Castle, and when the players arrive at the Chi-Cheng Castle, they will find out that they have to break in through the petrol robots and the traps, because of the world is controlled by the robots. And without the NPC's robot, they cannot collect 8 reset fragments. So here they have to reset all the fragments, then they can reboot the world. So for the starting coordinates at Zone 2 is 13.7. While the players start their journey at Zone 2 from using a portal from Zone 1 to Zone 2, they will trigger the first quest, which is responsible for the brief guidance and an introduction to Chi-Cheng Castle. Now is the NPC's introduction. Here is all the NPC's location, and we have 10 NPCs in total. The blue one refers to the main NPCs, and the side NPC refers to the yellow one. And the last one is purple, which is vendor NPC. It means the NPC who sells the items. So let's welcome the first NPC, Celix. She's the NPC who has 3 quests, 1 for narrative and 2 for problem solving. But I would like to just explain the particular one, the money reward. Yeah. So the player will get $80 because the NPC will mention that the player will need the money for the following mission. Then she is also the NPC who will guide the player to evade the petrol robot. So the player will get the map of Chi-Cheng Castle later. And the second one is Guardian Robot, who also has 3 quests, and the player must complete the 2 above. Then the Guardian Robot can ensure that the player is qualified to shut down the radar. And the radar is an alert system in Chi-Cheng Castle for the petrol robot. Yeah. So once the player is qualified, the Guardian Robot will offer them a crystal. There are 4 quests for Kinshuk, and the special one is Quest 2, because the player will get $75. And the reason why they will get the money is because in this quest, the player has to assist the Kinshuk. So that's the reason why they will get this money. So there are 2 missions for the player to complete, and Motor Warden will provide the player a tool to dig out the core parts. The core parts is the item required by another NPC. Okay, so here comes the Rain, which is the NPC who has the most quests. Here's the first 4 quests and the other 4. So there are 8 in total. 8 in total. And Vera. Vera is the vendor NPC, the only vendor NPC who sell a hammer to player for $200. And Drexus also has 2 quests, and he will assist the player to use the tool here to dig out the item at the right-hand side. So that's for Lina and Miru. The first quest, as you can see, will be asked by Miru, and the other one will be asked by Lina. And Lina is Miru's mother in the storyline. And once the player complete all the quests they will reward the player a food supply, the curd meat strips, which is handmade by Lina. And is Belser, the last NPC before the player entered to the mainframes of Chilean Castle. Last but not least is the final NPC, Artemis, also with the final quest. So the player has to finish all the quests, then they can finish all the quests by collecting all the 8 fragments, then they can reset the world successfully. Yeah, so only if the player passes his trials and they search all fragments, then they can reboot the world. And this is the final part of setting items. So this is the first type, tool. The player can use the tool on the left-hand side is a bottle to dig out the other item. On the right-hand side is the cord, and then this follows the same procedure. The hammer dig out the microchips. So the other one is food. This is the item I had mentioned earlier. Is the energy supply, which is offered by Lina. And once the player consume it, they will gain 800 movement points because the player needs to walk around the whole map, so they need some energy. And the last type of item is quest item. We have 8 different kinds of quest item in total, but I only put 7 here because I think the most important part I would like to highlight is the reset fragments. So the player will get 4 reset fragments in zone 1, and then the last 4 pieces in zone 2. So once the player complete all the quests and collect all the fragments, they can reset the world. And how they can reset the world is they have to arrange them into the correct order. And I would like to explain our concept of reset fragments. So due to our teaching materials is about computer thinking, computer systems, and computer networks, they all revolve around computer. So that's why we use the alphabet of computer as the fragments. Yes. And now I would like to show you some demonstration video. I have 1 important quest and the other 2 of item usage. Here, Elsa Roman will give player a hint is to take a wood box to find out Lina and Miro. So they have to complete the quest first and get a wood box. And also they have to finish the quest of Lina and Miro. And they will get the food, the energy supply. Okay, so now they finish all the quests. So the player can consume the item, so they will gain 800 movements. And the next one is tool usage. So Kinshuk will. Oops, sorry. Okay, so Kinshuk will sorry for that. Will give a hint for player to know that he needs help for another item. Then the player will go to find another NPC to have the tool. So here the player will need to find Vera, the vendor NPC, to buy the hammer. And then the player can use the tool, the hammer, to dig out the item. The last video is about arrange the correct orders for reset fragments. So they have to complete the quest and use all the collected fragments to arrange it, but it takes a little time. Okay, so now the player finished the quest from COMPUTER, then they can reset the world. So success. Okay, that is all for my part. Let's welcome Brenda again.
Okay, so hi, I'm Brenda YEH. I'm going to talk about the conclusion part. So first of all, our conclusion will divide into three parts. The first one is expected outcomes. So what have students learned? And the second part is the obstacles and solutions. So what have we learned? And the third one is the Q&A section. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask during the Q&A section. So first, expected outcomes. So since we integrate our teaching materials into our games, so the outcome for students we can divide into two parts. The first one is connected. For students, like the physical aspects, like the knowledge outcomes, including computational thinking, computer systems, and computer networks. And as for the affected, the emotion outcome, since students learn with games, so they might feel enjoyment and engagement. And the expensive way may lead students to feel less pressure instead of just taking some exam in the classroom. And the third one is they receive some award, they might feel a sense of achievements, and also they have to work with NPCs, so they might learn some about collaborations. And next is some obstacles and solutions. So we can divide into completed and unresolved. So let's see completed. The first one is Dr. Monica Zhang has asked in the weekly progress meeting about the systems. So can we change the system to Chinese? The answer is yes. There are two ways to change. The first one is during the players to sign up their accounts, they can choose the language. And the second way is that they can just change it on the here main menu, and here the language they can just change to simplified Chinese. And the second obstacles we made is the big problems. We have fixed this many days. At first, we have set up the tools and we have put the items in the certain places we want, but we tried many times, we can't take the items out. So we have just revised anything like changing the items, changing the tools, or changing anything that we can change. And unfortunately, we didn't fix. And after that, we have a little discuss with Dr. Monica Zhang, and we also get back to discuss between our teammates, and we finally take our items out. And I think that the process takes a lot of time, but the collaboration and I think the importance of asking for help is a valuable experience for us. And for the unsolved problems is that this one. Since in chapter 3 there are many questions including rules. However, if I put the questions including the rules on here context, it will have the error over there, so the question cannot be used. So generally questions that involve operation rules cannot be used over here. So there might be a little bit of obstacles for us when integrating our chapter 3 materials into our games. And the last part of our conclusion is the Q&A section. So please don't hesitate to